Good morning, everybody, and welcome back. Nathan with you, Nathan Ivy Show. Hopefully you got the message that was going to start the show a little bit later today. And I'll be with you up until 10 a.m. There's a lot going on I want to talk about with you this morning. And welcome back to the last honest place in Cincinnati media, brought to you by the good folks at Sin Digital Media, amplifying Black voices in Cincinnati and beyond. Let me double check on something real quick. Yeah. We sounding good. Give me a thumbs up if we are looking good and sounding good. You know, this has been happening. Facebook is effing with me. Seems like for the last couple of weeks, ever since that Cincinnati Enquirer article came out, Facebook, y'all been tripping. So just let me know and I'll do what I can on my side to make sure you have a pleasant experience. Good morning to you. Hope you had a great weekend. I'm gonna tell you a little bit about my weekend, and then I want to set up the conversation for this morning. And as always, there's a lot to talk about. Hey, listen, while we have the time, as the show is just getting started, can you do your boy a favor? Do your boy a favor and hit that like and share button on wherever you are. So right now we're streaming on multiple platforms. In terms of video, we're streaming on Facebook. And got it in, Black woman? Good. Wifey just came back from getting the workout in. So do a favor for me. We're on multiple platforms. Wherever you are, please take a second to like and share this show. And I want to talk about why that is so important a little bit more this morning as we get the conversation started. So currently we're on YouTube. Nathan Ivy on YouTube. Oh, no, I'm good. Currently we're on YouTube. And we're on Facebook in terms of video right now. For now, that's going to change this year. All of our shows are going to be on. Let me put it this way: you're going to have a wider variety of platforms that you can view our video. I'll put it that way, without saying too much. But right now, those are the two platforms where you can check out the shows, and then any of the Sin Digital Media shows as well. You can check it out on Facebook and YouTube. This is a live stream sort of network in the sense that, you know, most of our shows live stream onto Facebook when they go live. And then they're available. The audio is available for folks that are into audio podcasts and things like that. So please like and share us on YouTube and Facebook. It means everything. In terms of audio, well, you can pick up this live stream in two places. A lot of folks might be using the app called TuneIn. You can check out the live stream on TuneIn. Hey, what's up, everybody? You can check out the live stream on TuneIn. You can check us out there. And, of course, you can also check us out on Spreaker. So that's where the show is live. In terms of listening to the Nathan Ivy Show audio afterward, well, that show is everywhere. You know, any Spotify, you name it. Anywhere there is an audio podcast an audio podcast sort of network or platform that's popular. I'm sure there's some new ones I'm just not aware of. Then you can listen to the Nathan Ivy Show whenever you want to. Okay. Also, and you can test it out this morning if you are like you use Alexa or any of those like smart speaker devices. You can check out this show and any of the shows. Just say, "Hey Google, play the Nathan Ivy Show," and guess what? Your Google Assistant or whatever the fuck it's called is going to play the Nathan Ivey Show as well as any of the other shows. And it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool to say, hey, Alexa, play the Nathan Ivey Show podcast. And then she'll say, playing Nathan Ivey Show podcast. It's kind of dope to hear your name and hear Alexa say your name back and then play your podcast. I want it. I will admit that. It's kind of dope. So I just want to let people know where you can check out this show. Also, I have a website. It's called nathanivey.com. If you're not aware, you can go there and subscribe to the feed and be connected with me there. On that website, you can find my contact information. You can find all the different platforms we're on. And if you want to donate, you want to become a patron or whatever you want to do, you can do there at the Nathan Ivey Show. Plus, you can get a bio from me if anybody would be interested in something like that. If you want to, it's there for you. I want to make sure you know. It's so important because I want to say it again. I 100% believe in this mission and what we're doing. And it's undeniable the impact that this little podcast has had in Cincinnati. And we're just getting started. We are just getting started. In terms of a media platform, we are infants. We newborns. What we are now may not resemble what we might be in the future. You never know how these things go. Smart people kind of, what did Bruce Lee say? You got to be like water. You got to be like water, man. You got to get in where you fit in. You got to be fluid. You got to be flexible. So you never know, what you got to be able to make that Olajuwon dream shake pivot in the paint. You never know. But I just want to say, again, thanks to all my patrons. I'm going to shout you out today on the show again. And to all the people that have made donations and you like and share this show or the Is It Just Me podcast or the Dope Chicks Collective or whoever, I appreciate you. And it's working. We are making progress, no doubt. There is a place for us and this platform in the Cincinnati area. No doubt about it. 100%. 100%. And we prove that every single day. And there's a lot of ways in which we're different than all the other traditional platforms. And in the ways that we're different, it all benefits the audience. It all benefits the ways that we're different than traditional media, all benefits you. Like the way that this show is different than the show that I used to do, is it all benefits you. It all benefits you. So please take a second to like and in particular share today's show. I want everybody to know what we're doing, where we are. I want people to check it out. Your feedback means everything. Of course, your support means everything. So I appreciate you in advance. In advance. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're doing well. All right. Good morning to you. Come on in, everybody. Again, please like and share today's show. It means everything. I want to talk about numerous things today because there's a lot of stuff going on. But I also want to make sure we talk about what's to cover here. This is a little different here. This is me. This is my avant-garde cover. The fact that a black woman could be arrested for knocking on a door at the Capitol and charged with a felony, while 99% of the white folks who stormed the Capitol didn't get so much a citation, is an effing problem. Now, how many people know what I'm talking about? How many people are aware of what happened to State Rep Park Cannon down in Georgia? Now, she's a black lawmaker who was arrested for knocking on the governor's door last week. Now, you might be thinking to yourself, what do you mean, Nate? What do you mean knocking on the door? She was doing more than that. No, literally, she was handcuffed and arrested after she literally knocked on the governor's door. And when I say knocked on the governor's door, I don't mean like picking the locks and coming through blasting, knocking on the governor's door. I don't mean it that way. I mean like polite, can I get some sugar? Any sugar? Not even can I get some sugar, but just think about like the most polite knock that you can ever do. You know what I'm saying? Thank you, Sarah. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And I want to say this again about sharing on Facebook. There are a lot of Facebook groups that have audiences that are very similar to this audience. Please share this show on those Facebook groups. And don't be shy about, let's say it's a group where you see maybe 2 or 3 people already shared that group. Share it anyway, because I'm in a lot of groups. I'm in more groups than I can count, okay? And when you're in a lot of groups, and even if you're in a few groups, you don't see every time somebody posts. So it might be 2, 3 different posts of the same thing before you see it. So don't be shy about it. Let people know what we're doing. Put us on the map. I appreciate you. I appreciate you in advance. And then people can make the decision as to whether they want to check it out or not. But back to Cannon Park. She was arrested after making the most polite knock ever. I played the video for some of you last week. I'll play it for you again today. And she was knocking on the governor's door. Inside the governor, or behind the door, the governor, surrounded by white males only, he signed a law that has put in sweeping election reforms down in Georgia. Any black Georgians out there, any folks in Georgia listening, I'd like to know what's going on. How are people in Georgia reacting to this? Governor Brian Kemp, he signed a bill that some people have called nothing less than Jim Crow 2.0. Jim Crow 2.0. Now, Park Cannon was arrested and processed. After she got out, she went on Twitter and tweeted, "I am not the first Georgian to be arrested for fighting voter suppression." That was on Friday. And I just want to highlight this because it's out there. People are reporting it and they should be reporting it. But it's just amazing to me that, we live in a society where a black lawmaker, and yeah, we're talking about two different states and two different circumstances, but we're talking about one country, okay? Americana, American culture. So I think that there's a lot of similarities there to make this point. But it's quite amazing that we live in a country, in a day and time, where a black female lawmaker gets arrested and charged with a felony just for politely tapping on the door, right? She's a lawmaker in Georgia, and the governor's inside the office behind that door, signing some goofy draconian Jim Crow 2.0 law that's gonna have this targeted at black voters. By the way, she gets arrested for that. You got all these other folks out here committing all kind of crimes, run to the Capitol and all this kind of stuff. They don't get charged with nothing. It's just amazing to me. And to me, this story with Georgia Rep Park Cannon is just a microcosm of black in America. It's like a microcosm of just the everyday life of black people in this country, because this is ridiculous. I saw it. Now, people can make the argument that the sheriff deputies gave her a warning, but you're arresting people for this. This is why they put you outside, because people might knock on the door. It's just, I laugh to keep from crying because it's so damn sick, quite honestly. But it sounds to me like, see, I don't live in Georgia, but I know people that do. It sounds to me that the white power structure down there, the white conservative power structure, is just like that Star Wars, trilogy or whatever series, The Empire Strikes Back. Joe Biden just won? You like Joe Biden? Okay, F Joe Biden. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure we never get another Joe Biden, right? So it sounds to me like they're reacting. And I just want to know what the people, they're also reacting to Stacey Abrams. How dare this woman, this black woman, come down here changing laws and getting people registered to vote, How dare you try to get people registered to vote, right? We're going to show you what your vote means, right? Oh, you want to vote? Oh, you like voting? Okay, we're going to make it real difficult for you to vote just to see how much you really care about voting. And just on Saturday, I did like a 1 hour Zoom with some really smart, intelligent people. It was put together by Zeta Phi Beta. Shout out to them. It was called Engage Cincinnati, talking about what's at stake. And I think it was Ashley Young she's the VP of strategy and policy over at the Urban League. She made a point at the very end just to remind people of just how much your vote matters. And I think it's an excellent point. To all the smart dumb cats out there, that's black people, whoever else, who've convinced themselves that your vote don't matter. If your vote didn't matter, then why is it across the country, not just Georgia? You got like 200, 250 bills in various states introduced by Republican legislatures that would bring about some reforms to voting. They call it reforms, but really is voter suppression disguised as, and it's not even a good disguise. You know what I'm saying? This ain't even a good disguise. This ain't even a clever disguise. You know what I'm saying? You ever had went to a Halloween party and you get in there, everybody got their suits. Oh, it's the Joker over there. That's a cool Joker. So you go, Aquaman, I see it. And you got somebody like, I'm supposed to be Spider-Man. You don't look shit like Spider-Man. It's like, you ain't Spider-Man. This ain't no damn reforms. Talking about some reforms. You mean voter suppression? legal ways to try to stop people, black people primarily, from voting because you're all sour grapes about Donald Trump, the worst one-term president in American history, not being reelected. Come on, folks. That's wild to me. That's wild to me. Like, I think that media should spend more time on this story and then breaking down just all of the ramifications and the reflections and what that really means. Because to me, that is quite amazing. Now, again, she's been on Twitter. I followed it over the weekend. She got a lot of supporters from people around the country, and she pledges that she's not going to back down and she's going to keep fighting. So they might have unwittingly just put like a Duracell battery in her back, and now she's gonna go super hard for the cause. I don't know what that means exactly. We shall see. But I think on some levels, I mean, across the country, if as much as it's possible, I think people should be thinking about, like, I think black voters in particular should be thinking about ways that we can use our own individual power through either our personal purse or our businesses to put pressure, economic pressure on the state of Georgia, to send a message to them and let them know just how displeased that we are as to what they're doing down there. You know what I'm saying? I want to hear the NBA stand up because they was loving black folks, Black Lives Matter, all on the side, all this kind of stuff. The majority of your league is black. Where y'all at, NBA? Where y'all at? Y'all got two historic teams down there. And one the men's league, the women's league down there. Hopefully, we start to hear from some of these businesses. You got a lot of businesses that do business in Georgia, I would imagine, that love black folks' money. They love some black consumer money. They love it. Okay, well, what you gonna do now that you see a political attack that's targeted primarily at black voters? What they gonna do? See, now it's time for the allies of black folks. They just love them some black folks just all over the country to start exercising their economic power in a way that they can leverage it to put some pressure back on these fools down there in Georgia to let them know how people feel, right? What's wrong with that? Good morning to you. Sounds good to me. I've been reading more over the weekend, family. This is a Cincinnati story. Let me get local here for a second about the mayor and his plans for the $290 million. And again, I just want to reiterate that this is just like the mayor's plans. This is what the mayor's priority is. Like, it's a little bit, I don't know. It's like the mayor had this big old press conference and they had like performances and people were eating fire. And you had the bearded lady was there and people were tap dancing and singing. They was doing opera at the press conference about the arts. And everybody's like, oh, the arts, the arts, the arts, the arts, the arts. And I mean, I think arts is important, but housing is more important. I think arts is important. Arts, arts, arts. I keep getting this, from John Cranley, the mayor. Well, lifting people out of poverty, that's important. That's important. I get it. But people need to remember that those are just John Cranley's priorities. We don't know what city council is going to actually do. City council has to look at the plans and make a decision. And for me, I think that they should look at this. By they, I'm talking about city leadership. To me, city leadership should, and again, it's probably going to go that way anyway, but like every single year we have this moment about the budget. And it's such a dog and pony show. It's such a sham ass circus where the city manager comes out with a list of priorities, and then the mayor, and then in some cases he wants to cut, services or programs that are popular in certain communities. People raise hell about it on radio and media. We can't let them cut this. We can't let them cut that. And then the mayor swoops down like the shortest Batman ever, right? And he saves the day. I'm sick of this dog and pony show, but that's what's about to happen, folks. So it's the same old game. And then council comes out. It's a crusade for the program. We believe in this program. Later for all of that, we see you. I've seen it before. I ain't impressed. And then the council members get to show how much they care about the community because they champion these programs that the community cares about, right? Seen it before. We'll see it again. That's what's about to happen with this $290 million. Okay. So last week I told you that, and I still believe this, that it's ignorant as fuck to spend $250,000 on a Black Lives Matter mural. But That's my personal opinion. And we talked about other elements of the conversation as well. I just want to make sure that my audience knows that, it's being projected the city council is going to take anywhere between 2 and 6 weeks to make a decision about this, right? That means you got 2 to 6 weeks to influence them. So get educated about what the proposals are, think about it, and shoot them an email. Shoot them an email, shoot them a Facebook message, tag them in a tweet. Tag them in a tweet, tag them in one of your posts. Now, you can't get much easier than that. For the folks that's like email shy, like, I don't want to do that, Nathan. Okay, great. At least you can tag them in a tweet or something like that. Let them know how you feel. Tell them what your priorities are. The arts. I like art, but again, these things are larger than me. Smarter people than me, will figure all this stuff out. But I just had to make that point. 513-873-7134. Speaking of city council, and I've received this kind of a heads up from 3 different sources now. And typically, when I hear something from multiple sources, that's when I'll share it with you, because I hear a lot of stuff, but it's only coming from one source here or there. But when I hear from 3 completely different sources, I'm thinking, wait a minute, something here. So speaking of city council, I keep hearing things about Wendell Young, that Wendell Young may be indicted, or he might be dealing with some legal issues, and that a story's going to break real soon. Has anybody, any of the choppers, all smart, intelligent, very connected people, has anyone been hearing this as well? If anyone been hearing this as well, Iris writes, write your own proposal. There it is. Write your own proposal. Right. Write your own proposal and send it to them. Say, hey, here's what I think is a priority. And again, your own proposal don't have to be 10 points. You might have 1 point. You might say, hey, listen, I just want to put this on your radar screen, Mr. or Mrs., whoever it is, city council member. I say send it to all of them. And say, listen, here's what I think is a priority is, and then list why you think it is. You never know. It might influence them. You never know. They might be like, I never thought about it like that. Let me give this more thought. Let me get my team on this. Let me do some research. You never know. You never know. You absolutely never know until you try. Try to see what happens. Try to see what happens. 513-873-7134. But I want to make sure that people understand that this is not a done deal. This is a proposal, and that you still have time to influence the people that are going to make the decision. That's my whole point of sharing that with you. I want you to know that. But back to what I said about Wendell Young. I've heard this from 3 different sources now. Nothing's been reported that I've seen, but these are 3 sources that I would say are credible. And I want to put it out there to hear what you're hearing. So I don't have the details. Something about some text messages that Wendell didn't show, or I don't know, he fell into a hot tub or something like this. I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be about corruption. I don't know. I've heard some things. They're very vague. I haven't seen anything, but again, most of the time when I hear from multiple sources, that's the point at which I feel comfortable just to throw it out there and tell me what you've heard. Tell me what you've heard. Good morning to you. 513-873. This is the Iris Rice, not the shortest Batman ever. Right. It's a whole lot of Batmans, and John Cranley is the shortest one ever. This little, that's not the Batman music, but that's John Cranley's music. He comes in, saves the day. I'm going to save the Center for Closing the Health Gap, right? Like every year we keep having the same questions about stuff that people think are priorities. It is what it is. Oh, man. Also, I want to remind you, put this on your radar screen. I'm sure if you're available, you'll check it out at some time, because I think it'll be very informative. And tomorrow is going to be the mayoral forum hosted by the Prince Hall Masons and Cincinnati NAACP. Okay. As I understand it, all of the mayoral candidates, there's going to be a primary really soon. Okay. And we've got several mayoral candidates. I believe there's 6 of them. The last information that I was given is that 5 of them have confirmed and will be with us, because I will be your moderator for the forum tomorrow evening starting at 6:30 p.m. Now, this is a virtual event, which means that you are more than invited to attend virtually via your smartphone or whatever device you might have, and you can join the conversation that way. And I'd love for you to be a part of it and share your comments. The NAACP and myself are always prepared, but we try to, at some point, try to get at least some questions in from the audience because, the audience has great questions. So we want to try to integrate it. Can't think of everything. So I'm looking forward to it. These are always a lot of fun for me and very informative. So looking forward to it tomorrow at 6:30 p.m. Not sure what you got going on, but please be around for that, okay? Not sure what you got going on, but please check that out. It'll be on their Facebook page, Cincinnati NAACP. We might simulcast it and put it on Send Digital Media at the same time as well. Okay, but you can check it out there, and you can check out the candidates. They'll all be like doing like a Zoom type of thing, and we'll get a sense of who they are and what they're gonna do for the city and what they're gonna do for Black folks that live in the city. Okay, that's what we're gonna find out. That'll be tomorrow, and always a good time. Always a good time. There's been some really interesting moments, some really super informative, right? Going back to last year's election, everybody was in COVID. Lots of folks was watching the Cincinnati NAACP forum. If I told you the numbers that the Cincinnati NAACP was doing in terms of the eyeballs they was getting through last summer, you wouldn't believe me. You wouldn't believe me. Let me tell you, you're talking about some big numbers. You're talking to the hundreds of thousands. The high end, like near 1 million. You know what I'm saying? So it's very, very, a lot of people check it out who don't even live in the city because it's just such a dope idea to do it virtually. So make sure you check that out. That'll be tomorrow at 6:30. And I'm looking forward to it. Now, enough of me, more of you. Let me go straight to the Chop Shop. Sharp writes, good morning, Nate and the Choppers. Good morning to you. Miss D writes, greetings. Good morning, Miss D. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and Choppers. Good morning to you. Ray writes here, good morning. The Politically Petty Show. I haven't listened to it yet, Glenn, but I was told by someone who I think they enjoyed your show that you went off on everybody on the last episode. So I got to check it out. And Glenn was super hard at Charlie Winburn. It was very entertaining last week. And I got to say, to Charlie Winburn's credit, I talked with him after the show. Listen, I appreciate people who, have thick skin. Let me say that Charlie Winburn has thick skin. And he actually listened to what Glenn had to say. He said, you know what? I do need to be asking these questions. So I appreciate that. So there it is, Glenn. Hey, what's up, Cass? How you doing? Hope you're feeling better. That's Cass. So we didn't do Melanin Insights yesterday. Cass wasn't feeling too well. And they'll be back next week. So send her some prayers. Send her some good mojo, some good vibes this morning. Brenda writes, happy Monday. Pat writes, good morning. Sharp writes, no, haven't heard anything about Wendell. Bunky writes, what's up, Nate and the Choppers? You haven't heard anything, huh? Okay. Well, somebody has. Somebody's has, because I've gotten this from 3 credible sources. I'm like, okay, something might be here. So let's wait and see. I like Wendell Young. I like Wendell Young's politics. Am I disappointed that he'd make? Yeah, I'm disappointed. Like I said, more is more. Why not? Why not have more people in the race that are experienced and give a damn about Cincinnati? So he didn't get enough votes. I'm sorry, he didn't get enough signatures on his petition. So we'll see what happens. I don't know what's next for Wendell. I'd like to see Wendell remain in politics. I could say that. I think I'd like to see him remain in politics. Sister Iris writes, Judge Barry, though, right? What the fuck is up with Judge Barry? Y'all heard about this guy? Now, let me preface, this is more local stories, more local news. Judge Barry is a Black judge, Hamilton County judge. Hamilton County is a county that Cincinnati resides in. And apparently, again, if you believe what was reported, apparently he was pushing up on a woman that works at the courthouse to the point where she felt very uncomfortable. And so now there's going to be like a big hearing in which the Supreme Court of Ohio has to decide, what they're going to do about Judge Barry. Now, he is a Black judge. The last time I remember him being in the news, he was complaining about the Hamilton County Sheriff deputies not allowing him to go past certain checkpoints because he didn't have an ID. Remember this? And it's like, wait a minute, you know I'm a judge. Why do I need an ID? You recognize me. And it sounded as if he was saying it was some racism involved. That's what it sounded like. That was the last time that I remember him being in the news or even thinking about and talking about Judge Barry. And let me preface it this way. If everything I'm reading in the news being correct, somebody needs to go talk to that man. People around Judge Barry need to go talk to him and sit bruh down and say, look, you tripping, homie. You motherfucking tripping. Like, some of these dudes can't control themselves around women, I guess. So if you don't know, apparently he was projecting some unwarranted advances or sexual, kind of advances on a woman that wasn't feeling it. And in the newspaper, they didn't put her name out there. They reported her as Jane Doe. So I don't know if this is a black woman or a white woman. I don't know. Does it make a difference? I mean, not really. Not really, but kind of it does. Maybe not really. Okay. So apparently, and again, it was kind of confusing. Like, at some point, the woman that's claiming that Judge Barry was pushing up on her too much, like some Me Too type stuff. She claims, I read that he asked for her number or something like that. Yeah, he asked for her phone number and she gave it to him. And then she was like, well, I felt like because he was a judge, I have to do this. But as I understand it, she doesn't directly report for him. Like, she's not a part of his staff. She just kind of works in the building, and I guess he must have took a liking to her. And then I read that he was going through a divorce, or just went through a divorce or something like that, and he had left some messages and sounded like he was drunk, rambling about his divorce. Oh, middle-aged man, get the over it. Get over it. Nobody wants to hear about your damn divorce. Nobody cares about your drinking problems. You're a grown-ass man. Act like it when you at work. Simple as that. Like I said, I don't know Judge Barry, and I would say the same no matter what, but it sounds to me, if this is true, it sounds like dude need to chill. That's what it sounds like. Like, what grown man out here is sending a whole bunch of messages to a woman that's not responding favorably? Like, motherfucker, she don't want it. It's over. Apparently, he was sending her a whole. You ain't see this? It was just an ugly look. It was just an ugly look. I don't know the man, but if in fact it's true. Now, if it's not true, that means the local media is doing something wrong, but I haven't heard him make any noise or anything. In fact, in the article that I read, apparently they did some kind of review and he admitted to everything that she alleged that he did. Again, that's what's been reported. So, maybe, I don't know, maybe he's having a tough time right now, middle-aged judge and all, something like that. I don't know. Just some of these men, I don't understand their actions. I don't get that. I'll say it again. What kind of woman, what kind of man, what kind of real man wants a woman that don't want him? I don't get that. And not just, I'm not sure, I'm busy right now, I ain't got time for this, but like, I don't want your advances. What man out here pushing up on a woman after she said no? Mofo, she said it's over. She ain't feeling it. That's what it is. Period. Y'all see this? Nakia writes, it wasn't her size, LOL. Terrence writes, not everything. Not everything what, Terrence? Good morning to you. Oh, yeah, he just posted in here. Hey, good morning, Rachel. Good morning to you. Good morning. Good to see everybody. Good to see you. Come on in. Come on in. There is an event it's a virtual event and it's going on today. I'm gonna tell you more about it here in just a couple of minutes, okay? I just love the virtual world. It's just so much easier to reach out and connect with people these days. I love it. I'm here for it. If you're just coming in, please take a second to like and in particular share today's show. When you share the show, more people see it. It means everything, okay? Want to give you a heads up. Today is called Let's Talk About It. And I'll put the graphic up here for you in a second for my folks that's visual. Okay. It's called Let's Talk About It. And it's going to be a virtual forum today at 6 p.m. Okay. They're going live at 6 p.m. And they're going to be talking about House Bill 6. Now, if you live in the state of Ohio in particular, this is for you. House Bill 6. Okay. What is House Bill 6? Why should you care about House Bill 6? What difference does it make? This is a statewide conversation. And these fine people you see right here will be your panelists. Okay. So if you live in the state of Ohio and you like to keep your eye on what's going on politically, make sure you check this out. You can follow the conversation or you can watch and view the conversation on Facebook at Common Strategies on Facebook. Okay. COMMEN strategies. And again, I'll be sharing it throughout the day and I'll share it at 6 p.m. as well, just to remind everybody. So if you're interested, you can check it out. That conversation is today. Okay. We want to make sure you know what's going on in the city. It means everything. All right. Also, today, you got a wonderful opportunity provided by my friends over at renewcommunitychurch.org. You can download a free ebook today and also sign up for 30 minutes of professional coaching. Now, I've got Charlie Wimburn, who would be your professional coach if you sign up. I've got Charlie Wimburn scheduled to come in this week, and we're going to spend about 30, 45 minutes talking about what's in the ebook, answering any questions, and then sharing his wealth of information. That'll be later today. And again, people don't forget, I know Charlie Wimburn, he's just like one of the crew. That's the Hamilton County treasurer. I want you to understand who that is right now. That's the Hamilton County treasurer right now. So, we are privileged to have a rare opportunity to, if you got some issues that are relevant to his office, shoot him out there. He in the chop shop. I know he's down for it. Shoot him out there. All right. That's going to be later on this week. I'll talk about it throughout the week and give you a heads up on the day of or the day before as well, so you can be a part of it. Good morning to you. Terrence writes, he didn't what now? Cleopatra writes, they have rejection issues. Is that what it is? Rejection issues? What the hell? A grown man? I don't see it. From a woman that you don't even know? How can you have rejection issues from a woman that don't even know you? You can't take that personal. You just ain't her type. Or she just ain't in the mood with it right now. You know how women are. A woman will be all turned on about one thing this day, 2 days later, it's the worst thing in the world. You know that. Some women. Okay, let me put it that way. Boy. But yeah, Ted Berry looking real. He out here looking like, I don't know, he looking like your boy Tavis Smiley out here. Let me say this to all men that might work with women. Okay, let me say this. To all the men out there, you might find yourself in a position where you're working with women. And oh, by the way, what the hell is wrong with Dr. Umar Johnson? Now, y'all know that I have been one from the beginning to always support that brother. You know that. Where you at, Jerica? Because I know that's your boy. And I'm about to go in on him a little bit. And I want to make sure you understand where I'm coming from. I'm coming from the perspective of his brother. I hate to see one of my brothers looking crazy out here, right? Yo, I watched some videos over the weekend that Dr. Umar Johnson posted. And I don't like saying this, but something is wrong with bruh. Bruh ain't right. The Prince of Pan-Africanism, something ain't right there. Something ain't right. Everybody know I've been the dude from day one, although I didn't donate. I've been supporting this brother and saying things like, oh, nah, ain't nothing wrong with the money, just because you didn't see what's going on. But then I started to realize, like, wait a minute, it's been a long time. Man, I watched some videos. He got a YouTube channel called King Kong Consciousness. Man, I watched some couple of videos over the weekend. Something ain't right. Something ain't right with bro. You start talking about what you can do at his school and what you're not going to do. At some point, you talk about, I wonder if dude has some type of diagnosis or some kind of mental issues, man, because something ain't right there. It's deeper than just where the money at for the school. Something is not right there. Because the more you watch it, I'm like, wait a minute. Is you on something? It sounds like he an addict or something. Man, he started talking about how he's not going to date the teachers at the school. I'm like, why are you telling us this? Yeah, at FDMG Academy, I'm not going to smash any of the women that work for me. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say? Why is you saying this, man? And ladies, if you work for FDMG, don't think you're going to be giving up the cookies around here to everybody and then complaining about it. This is what this man just said in a recent video, y'all. I got it queued up here. You want to hear this? It's the craziest shit ever. I'm looking at this man like, what in the hell? And this Theodore Barry stuff just kind of reminded me of that video I watched. Woo! I mean, I stand corrected. I mean, a lot of people in the audience like, nah, something ain't right with him. I think y'all right. I hate to say it, but something ain't right with that man. Charging $250 per interview, but he ain't charging Fox News. When I saw this motherfucker on Fox News, see, that burns me up. I fell out with Boyce Watkins about that once. Talking about you don't do interviews anymore, but I see you on Fox News. Now, how you not gonna talk with the black community because you too big for us? But then Fox News call you and you take your monkey ass over there talking about whatever you talking about. What? That burns me up. I'm telling you, I get real heated about this. I'm like, wait a minute. So that audience is more important than us? Dr. Umar Johnson want $250 for an interview. Have you lost your damn mind? I ain't paying $250 for no interview with you, man. Are you nuts? Are you losing it? And then you're going to go on with Tucker Carlson. I bet you damn well that he didn't charge them. He got a call from the Tucker Carlson show producers like, hey, you want to have your own Prince of Pan-Africanism? He was like, when? He didn't say $250 because they would have hung up on his ass. So how you going to charge all of these local, smaller black media outlets and people doing podcasts, yo people? But then when Fox call, you're going to do this show for free. Huh? What? The hell out of here. I fell out with Boyce Watkins many years ago, and I say fell out just on my side. He didn't give a damn. I had him on the show many years ago. He came on the show a couple of times. We had some good debates. We went at it. Then I reached back out to him. This motherfucker gonna tell me he don't do interviews no more, but I see you on Fox News once a week. Huh? You don't do interviews? Oh, so now you big time now. Oh, okay. So bump the smaller black media stations that lifted you up. Because now you big time. Now you only do Fox News and the Breakfast Club. I was done with his ass. The hell out of here with that dumb stuff. I'm telling you, man, people get brand new. Glenn writes, Fox News, question mark. Dr. Umar Smitherman. Dr. Umar Smitherman. See, there you go, man. Nobody even said that. Somebody writes, yeah, Dr. Umar is a clown. Man, listen, he had like 900 comments on that YouTube video, right? All of them was straight clowning him. And I'm like, damn, they disrespecting this man like this? Clowning his brother. And then I sat back and really watched the video. I was like, oh, yo, I see why. I ain't gonna smash any of the women at FDMG. I'm like, we don't need to know that, bro. We don't need to know that. I mean, it was then that I thought, you know what? Some things should be in a written form. You know what I'm saying? Just write that into the policy. Don't tell us as you're building the school. Why is that on your mind? I ain't gonna be smashing none of the ladies. And ladies, you ain't gonna be giving up all your cookies and then complaining about it. You ain't gonna be doing all that. And then all you fellas, you wanna come work at FDMG? You're not gonna be getting the cookies from the ladies that work there. I'm like, dude, you ain't even opened the building yet. And you already talking about personnel policy. It was hilarious, yo. I couldn't stop laughing. It was crazy. I'm like, man. Glenn writes, Nate sounds scussed. I am scussed. Shout out to Fame for that. Oh, man, I am scussed. Dude sound nuts. Yo, I was like, I felt bad for him. Here's what I think about Dr. Umar. Here's what I honestly think. I think that he had his intentions originally, and I think the baseline of his intentions are good. I think sometimes you can bite off more than you can chew, and you can make promises to people, and you feel like you can't go back because things don't really work out the way that you promised the people that maybe gave you money. And again, I understand that. You know what I'm saying? I understand it. That's a huge, awesome responsibility. I want to believe that he started, his baseline was good. Like, I'm gonna start this school. And I think it just got out of hand and became bigger than what it was. And he been asking, taking hundreds of thousands of dollars, and he feel indebted to finish it. That's what I want to believe. Because something ain't right. Tony writes, it probably means he is smashing. Tony, great minds think alike, bro. I thought the same damn thing. Tony said, I'm not going to be dating any of the parents. I'm not going to be dating any of the parents. I am not going to be dating any of the parents. I shit you not. That's verbatim. That's exactly what the man said. Word for word. I'm like, bruh, which one of the parents are you dating? Right? Woo, 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 man. Damn. Tracy writes, his intentions were to get money. Then do what? How long has this school been sizzling on the burner? Fuckery. I mean, see, I'm not that cynical. I think the brother started out with the best intentions, and I think he made a lot of promises to people and took money in, and he was writing a check that he wasn't really prepared to cash in terms of actually delivering. And I think he probably had expenses and roadblocks and all kinds of red tape to jump through that he didn't necessarily foresee. And I believe that in his heart, he really does think that we need an FDMG Academy. I think we do. Hard to argue that. Why can't we have black, pro-African, black-led schools? Why can't we? I love the concept. It sounds beautiful. I love it. And I think he started out well, and then things just sort of shit happens sometimes. Some, and I think, some people are prouder than other people. He comes across as a proud black man, and maybe he's too proud to admit to everybody that he can't deliver. You got all these critics out there like Tariq Nasheed and everybody else criticize him. Man, his whole YouTube channel's dedicated to criticizing Dr. Umar Johnson on YouTube. The whole channel, every upload, every video is about him. So now he like, damn, I got all these haters. I can't admit that the haters were right and stuff like that. I can see him getting caught up with that. I can see somebody getting caught up with that. Can't you? I can see that. 513-873-7134. If you would like to join the conversation in that way this morning. Now, you don't have to. You can chill. We got this. But back to Ted Berry. That's Judge Berry, man. Woo, what's up with this dude? Apparently, he was sending this woman like links to like dumb shit, man. I'm like, this is what you do when you ain't got this is your game. This is game in the modern day. Are you a judge recently divorced? I guess he's out of practice. He ain't got no game. I guess is what passes his game for him. Is I'm just gonna irritate her until she give me what I want. I don't know if that really works, bro. I don't think that really works, but if that's what you want to do. Hold on, let me pull the article up, man, because this shit is funny. Cincinnati judge faces misconduct complaint over crude messages and Facebook memes. What in the hell? What in the hell? Complaint states Berry asked her for her personal cell phone number, urged her via Facebook to visit him in his office, called her to talk about his divorce, and to invite her to lunch. I mean, what can be more depressing than sitting around talking about somebody's divorce? Ugh. It's like, can we change the topic, please? I don't want to talk about your motherfucking divorce. God damn it. It's like my day is bad enough. It's like, you're gonna meet me, you're gonna meet for lunch, and I'm gonna bring my own rain clouds too, so it can rain on us. I mean, what next? I mean, memo to all recently divorced men. I'm not, but I already know this. Don't nobody care? Yeah, a prospective woman don't want to hear all of that shit. You ain't gonna be because she looking at you like you did something wrong, like you might be damaged. Like, why she leave you? There's nothing you gonna say that's gonna shake that. Maybe Judge Barry needs a friend. He needs some people around him so he ain't got to do that kind of stuff. Talking about if I may have to give you an offer you can't refuse. What the fuck does that mean? The woman declined the request to meet him according to the complaint, but she did give him her cell phone number because Barry was a judge and she felt she could not refuse. Like, see, it's that part in the article that kind of sticks out to me that I want to have a conversation with about. Like, so here's a scenario. Ted Barry is the judge. You're a woman that works in the courthouse, but you don't work directly for him. He's obviously interested in you in some form of fashion, whether it's a more intimate relationship or just being friends. He asks you for his number. Is it fair? Is it reasonable to believe that she felt pressured to give him her number? Because if she say no, she don't directly report to him, what are you gonna do? I mean, he was barely making it behind the restricted line with the Hamilton County Sheriff deputies. What was he really gonna do to her? Like, you give him his number, but you blame him for forcing you or making you feel that way. I mean, it's hard for me to say because I'm not there. I'm not sure how that runs at the courthouse. Maybe the judges is like, BMOC, big man on campus type thing, right? They running things. Everybody know, give way. Here comes the judge. Unless you Ted Barry, you ain't got your ID. Then you got to wait, like, for the Hamilton County Sheriff deputies to decide as to whether you can go past the checkpoint. I remember that it was wrong. In a written response to the complaint, Barry admitted asking her for her number, asking for a date, and sending dozens of messages, most of them memes and videos. The other part of that is, isn't that like dating these days? We live in a virtual world, people jumping in DMs and sending messages and memes and all that kind of stuff on Facebook and Instagram. That's what people do these days, right? That's what dating is. The judge is not accused of harassing the woman. The question is simply whether it was appropriate for a judge to send the messages, videos, and memes. So it's not whether he was harassing her, although it kind of sounds like that. It's whether it's appropriate for a judge to do that. In November 2019, the complaint states that Barry, that's Judge Barry, sent a Facebook message inviting her to lunch. Quote, I hope I'm not being too forward or pushy in inviting you to do something. I'm a big boy, so I know how to accept and respect the word no. So please be honest in your response. I'm a big boy? Up to that point, the complaint states the woman had responded to most of the judge's texts and Facebook messages, but the correspondence became increasingly one-sided after she ignored his November request for a date. From that point on until at least February 2020, Barry sent the woman 72 Facebook messages and she responded 15 times. Like, what's the percentage? What's 15 out of 72? What's that percentage? Somebody do that math for us real quick, because that ain't a good percentage. Rachel writes, did the woman tell Judge Barry to leave her alone? Good question. Good question. Fair question. Because I don't, and nothing I read says that she did. It sounds like rather than telling him no, she just didn't respond. And then it got to the point where, she just got sick of it. Apparently, he was sending videos that were like political and partisan as well, including videos and memes that were mocking the former president, Donald Trump. Another showed a picture of a cat and Trump alongside the words, "You ain't grabbing this." Apparently, he also sent her a video that was offensive and sexually explicit in nature. It was from the monologue of a famous black comedian. Tiffany Haddish. Apparently, he sent her a video entitled "How to Build a Resume for a Hoe." And featured a monologue from comedian Tiffany Haddish in which she joked about helping female prostitutes build a resume. He sent her another video titled "How to End a First Date" that included sexually explicit language about negotiating sexual favors for gifts. I'm reading straight from the article itself. So yeah, Judge, that does sound like it's inappropriate, bruh. Do we really need to have a hearing on this? Yeah, it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate, man. I mean, even though for me, the way I would look at it, it is what it is. See, some men just can't control themselves. You a judge in that building. Whether anybody in the building is off limits damn near. That's how you got to look at it. They all off limits. That's just how you got to look at it, Judge. Damn. Toy writes this. Hey, good to see you, Toy. She writes, this is a mess. It's not as bad as Judge Gentry. No, it's not in Covington, but it's still unnecessary and unexplainable. Whether the Ohio Supreme Court decides as discipline, it wasn't worth it. He still didn't get a date. And now his reputation is smeared. She's right about that. No date, and your reputation is not in a good place right now. Excellent point. Rachel writes, some of these older men who have been out of the dating game, getting back into dating game, don't know how to navigate the new dating landscape. Okay, that's fair. I could see that. I think that's fair. So maybe he just didn't know how to judge it. Okay, I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Roy writes, good morning, everyone. Good morning to you. Sheila writes, okay, talking to Daryl. Lisa writes, dude was trying to get some new and been out the game too long. Right. Maybe he was a little bit rusty. His dating skills were rusty, so you got to sharpen up, and then he'll have a better approach in the near future, right? Hello, my name is Judge Barry. Can we go on a date? Tony writes, that's called testing the waters. Hashtag he got games. Judge is hilarious. Joe is hilarious. Judge ain't know how to judge, right? The judge didn't know how to judge. Nakia writes, but that's his job to be a judge, right? The judge didn't know how to judge. I mean, come on, read the situation, yo. Damn. Out here making us look bad, Judge. The article goes on and on and on. Apparently, the Inquirer reached out and didn't get an article or quotes from the woman involved. How to build a resume for a hoe. Like, why would you send that to a woman? Like, what? How do you think she gonna read that? It's where we are. It's where we are in America. Oh boy. To his credit, though, from what I read, he admitted it. He was like, yeah, I did all that. Yep, I did that. Drops in the house. He writes, why is Obama not doing a black podcast? Why is he doing Bruce Springsteen's podcast? Is his black card revoked? I need a Negro whisperer like Glenn from Mason to explain. Hashtag BND. Nobody gives a damn if Obama does a podcast drop. Nobody cares. Where you get this from, man? Nobody sitting around like, you know what? Why isn't Obama doing a podcast? He should be doing a podcast, except for you, man. Any little thing to criticize that black man is what you're going to do. You got way more critiques for the former president than you do the former president. You know, the guy that blew the deal on COVID, everybody admits now, even people that was on the team last year admit that Trump did a terrible job with COVID. Everybody admits that now. You ain't got no questions about that. And got the nerve to ask this dumbass question, why is Obama not doing a black podcast? What the hell? Why isn't Obama making waffle fries? What kind of random issue is that? You're just making shit up, man. It is what it is. Sheila writes, why is he focused on Obama? I don't get it. Drop somewhere like, why isn't Obama making waffle fries? He knows black people love waffle fries. What is wrong with this man? Hey, Kamara's in the house. Good morning to you. Good to see you, sis. Sister Iris writes, Ted Berry was the judge of the brother who said F the COVID video. Wait. He was the judge that initially, he was the initial judge? Really? Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Drop, you are obsessed with Obama, but don't have nothing to say about Trump. Right. Tell me some, why isn't Obama doing a black podcast? Because he don't want to? Because he's busy doing other more important things, maybe? I don't know. He's too busy being Obama. While we do a podcast, his wife is doing a podcast. That's enough podcasts from the former First Family. We good. Drop writes, Georgia new voting laws. Yeah, we know all about it. We know all about it, Drop. We know all about how that black woman was arrested for basically no reason whatsoever. Okay. That black woman was arrested basically for no reason whatsoever. We already know, Drop. We got it. We got it, bro. Speaking of which, I think we got Drop on the line. Let's see what's up with Bruh. What's up, Drop?
What's up, Mr. Ivy and all the beautiful people out there across the fruited plains? Yes, it's me. And the reason I put the Barack Obama shucking and jiving with the boss, Bruce Springsteen, is because you all discussed it with Umar Johnson and Dr. Boyce Watkins, not doing black media, not using black media to come up and then dissing them. Yeah, that's why I brought up Barack Obama. His black ass ain't been on one black podcast. He ain't even been on Breakfast Club. Okay. Now again, Mr. Ivy, like I said, Barack Obama ain't even interested in he ain't even interested in re-upping his black card. He like, I got the black card when I got in the White House. Now I'm out. I told that motherfucker up even before it expired. Because it's clear that Barack Obama was nothing more than just a black politician who fit the profile for the Democrat Party at the right time when they knew they was losing black votes in droves. So they had to find them a candidate. And guess what, Mr. Ivy? They're trying it again with Kamala Black Y'all Harris. But who knows? Who knows if the American people will support her? Because she definitely ain't no Barack Obama. I mean, I can get Obama, but he was a damn good politician, and he knew how to play both sides. I'm not going to call him a grifter. I'm not going to call him a race hustler or a poverty pimp, but he was an excellent politician. Now, Mr. Ivy, the real reason I called, sir, was about everything that's going on in Georgia and everything that's going on with H.R. Bill 1 and everything that's going on with the filibuster and everything that ain't going on with our sleepy, senile president, Joe Biden. Now, Mr. Ivy, if you are familiar with the California brand new election laws that took place in 2020, it was the first time they used it. It was a law that was passed in 2019, along with H.R. 1 was originally passed in 2019, Mr. Ivy. A lot of people don't know that. H.R. 1 was passed in 2019, but it never saw the light of day in the majority Senate run by Mitch McConnell. But now it's back. And that is why everybody nationally is so pissed off with Georgia, one little red state that they thought Stacey Abrams had locked up. But I guess what? Local politics is what matters. Elections have consequences. And this is what happens when the desperate Democrats try to take their national agenda and try to apply it across the country nationally. Now, Mr. Ivy, if you look at the H.R. 1 bill, they want to take away states' rights. They want to control your legislators. Do you actually want that in Cincinnati, Ohio, Mr. Ivy? No, you don't. But if you want to find out what the Democrats are trying to do with the voting laws that they found would be successful during the presidential election with the mail-in ballots. That's right, mail-in ballots. That's why they so outrageous, they so disgusted. As my brother Fane Rothstein, shout out to Fane Rothstein Sports Investing. But that's why they acting like this, Mr. Ivy, because they know the Democrats want national voting laws to reflect exactly what California and Nevada have done. California and Nevada did it legally. They went to their state legislators and changed the voting laws. Unlike Michigan, unlike Pennsylvania, and unlike other states. Now, Mr. Ivy, before I go, sir, I just want to say, Stacey Abrams, your credibility is at stake now, sister, because you led the Democrats to believe that because of your efforts to get Ossoff and Warnock into the Senate, that somehow Georgia was automatically a blue state. Wrong. Obviously, it is still a red state from this legislation that the governor signed. And one last thing before I go. That state rep who knocked on that door, she knew she was violating the rules because guess what, Mr. Ivy? The governor was on a Zoom call. That's why the trooper was in front of the door, because he's on a Zoom call. And you know how that goes, Mr. Ivy. Everything got to be quiet. She knew. And again, as far as we know, maybe that was her form of civil unrest. Maybe she wanted to be arrested. Maybe she wanted her friends and colleagues to record everything. But we all know in the coming days, all charges will be dropped. But the whole point is, Mr. Ivy, H.R. 1, what's happening in Georgia with their new voting law, and what's already happened in California and Nevada with their federal voting laws about blanket mail-in balloting, no registration, no voter registration. You can do it anytime. No ID required, no proof of citizenship. That's right. Trust but verify. It's out there. Read the California new voting law that was adopted in 2020 and was passed in 2019. Trust but verify everything. Now, I'm not even going to ask you if you have a question, because I know you don't have no question, because you can't handle this smoke, Mr. Ivy. So if you're going to be hard on Umar Johnson and Dr. Boyce Watkins for charging money for interviews or not charging money when they go on Fox, get on your brother Barack, because his black ass is born in the USA. Drop Squad 52. Dropping science to anyone who wants to catch it. Peace.
Appreciate the call, brother. Appreciate the call. Let's move on. 513-873-7134. Call and comment on what he said or not. Check out this image. Have you seen these right here? Everybody's talking about this right now. It's that new Satan shoe from Nike. You seen this? That's your boy right there. That's your boy. That Old Town Road leads straight to hell. Yes, the Old Town Road artist is involved with this. Lil Nas X. Raise your hand if you're a Lil Nas X fan. Raise your hand. Raise your hand if you're a Lil Nas X fan. Billy writes, Nate, got to take it back old school on drop. Stop riding Obama. You ride more than Mrs. Obama. Right? Damn. But have you seen these? Those are hot right there. And apparently they have human blood that's in like the aerosol, like the aerosol right there. Apparently it's got real human blood in it. And only 666 pairs are going to be on sale starting today. They say that the devil wears Prada. Well, so does Lil Nas X. So let me set the record straight here. It's being reported this morning that Nike denies any involvement with the Lil Nas X Satan shoes that contain human blood. I'm not making this up. This is the truth. Apparently, human blood is a drop of human blood is in the soul. A drop of human blood is in the soul. SOLE, as in the sole of the shoe. Oh, yeah, hold on. Let me see. I got a screen grab right here from Lil Nas X on Twitter. Give you more insights as to what's really going on. You can see this. This is America. This is America. Check this out. Yeah, there they go. They got the pentagram there. It looks like some kind of devil on the bottom of the box. Look at that. It's got like a scene from purgatory, a hell inside the box. That's going to be a collector's items. That's a collector's item right there. Look at the pentagram. Look at that. Yeah. You know, the Gothic folks will love this stuff, man. They're going to love this. Luke 10:18. Can somebody, what is Luke 10:18? I don't know what that is. Look it up. Luke 10:18. Must be something with to do with the devil. At the devil. And yeah, here it is. So he told them, I saw Satan fall like lightning from heaven. That's Luke 10:18. And that scripture is right there on the side of the shoe. How many people think this is hot? Raise your hand if you think this is hot right here. If you like, oh, word, oh, they killing the game with this. Why they coming so hard? If that's you, I'd like to know. I like to know. You think that's dope right there? They're only selling 666 pairs. I wonder how much they're selling them for. Oh, here it is. They'll be sold for $1,018. Which makes sense because Luke 10:18. So they're going to sell them for $1,018. And how many people think that the hype beasts are going to eat this up? Hype beasts are people that live for these collector items type of things, man. They spend a lot of money buying these kind of collector items, whether it be sports paraphernalia or sneakers or whatever. Then they resell them for a marked up price. Run around here trying to buy, Supreme paraphernalia. Then they can start their own Shopify store, and then they can resell it with a huge markup. So you might buy something for $300, but because it's such a culturally hot item, you can sell that motherfucker for $700. Right? How many people think this is dope right here? And again, I just want you to know that Nike has nothing to do with this from what I'm reading. Nike is saying they have nothing to do with this. This is a collaboration between Lil Nas X and a streetwear company called Mischief. So the name of the company is called Mischief, MSCHF. Only 666 pairs. Somebody do the numbers real quick. How much money are they going to raise? Hold on, let me do this. 1018 times 666 equals. They can make $677,988 potentially. Okay, that'll work. Not sure they're going to get a profit off of that, but whatever. That's what you're doing. Look at that. That looks hot right there. Got the little demon on the bottom. That's hot, right? Oh, look at that purgatory scene. That's nice. How many people think that's dope? We are living in the last days of common sense, my friends, as I told you, which precedes the last biblical days. We close. I'm not saying this now or tomorrow, but we're close to the end on this thing called life because humans just don't deserve what God has given us, quite honestly. We don't deserve it. Tony writes, drop, get your son. Kamar writes, I rebuke those in the name of Jesus, LOL. Really? Really? Come on, you tripping, Kamara. That's hot. Here's my question. I mean, aside from your personal preference on it, do you think that this is a good idea? I want to step away from how you feel about your religiosity and spirituality, because there's some folks out here that don't want to have nothing to do with this. Like literally, there's people out there like, what? Completely turned off. But from a business standpoint, in terms of making money, do you think this is a good idea? Do you think that they'll be sold out by the end of the day? I believe they will. I think people will go ahead and buy them just to see what the reaction is as an investment. And then just think about it. If you buy these shoes for $1,000 a pop, if they get big and break, you can make $3,000 off of them. double, triple your money. I'm just saying, that's the world we live in, man. That's hot right there, right? You tell me. The Jericho writes, "Hola, beautiful black people and the others too. By the way, Lil Nas X is not my boy. Lil Nas X is not my favorite. I'm gonna be honest with you. The Old Town Road, I ain't really care for. It's just something about him and the whole giddy up and this whole little. Again, it is. I got the right to be honest with you. It's just something about his whole thing that I just don't get down with. But I know that was a hot song that people really liked, and I don't really think much of Lil Nas X. It's just something about the way he do what he do that's just. It just seems like it's opposite of what I'm all about. Quite honestly, I'll be honest with you. I just can't. I don't feel him like that. I don't feel him. From the cowboy hat to none of that shit, I ain't feeling none of it. But hey, you making your money, man. Make your money, bro. Make your money. Little cowboy hat every time I see him, I'm like, oh, dear Lord. It's just something about the hat. It's just, I don't know what it is. Hold on, let me see. I got an image here I can pull up. I don't want to come across like some kind of bigot or something like that, but it's just something about the hat, the act, that just, it don't, this right here. What am I supposed to do with this? Now, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm from the hip hop generation. What am I supposed to do with this? How am I supposed to process this? Kamar writes, it's in connection with this new video. You talking about Lil Nas X? Oh man, I'm sure they got a slick marketing campaign. I'm sure it all makes sense. I'm sure it's gonna be hot. Like I said, if somebody asks me, do I think that this would be a good investment that you might make money off of it? I'd probably say, knowing the culture we live in now, I'd probably say people it should be sold out by the end of the day. That's what I'd probably say. Should it be straight sold out? 666. Get them from Big Mama. So get you some new shoes, Big Mama. Here you go. It's got a little drop of human blood in there too. Like, whose blood is it? It's not the blood of Jesus. So who's exactly? I mean, can we get some DNA testing on the blood that's inside the sole of the shoe? Do they have workers at the shoe manufacturer saying, you know what, I can prick my finger and put a little dab inside the sole of the shoe? I mean, that's a hell of a. How much they got to pay you for do something like that? That seems like a lot of blood. 666 pairs of blood. It seems like a lot of blood, and it seems like the kind of thing that's like the beginning of some kind of like satanic spell or some shit like that, right? My children, go out and get the blood of 666 people or some. It sounds like the beginning of some end type nonsense, right? Like, who's sitting around like, you know what? I'm gonna start a shoe line. Yeah, I'm gonna get a drop of human blood. That'll be hot. They should buy the shoes, rip them open, and do DNA test on all of the blood to make sure they're not missing persons. That's what they should do. That's what they should do. I don't trust it. I mean, how much they got to pay you for that? So they got all the shoes on the conveyor belt, and some people are putting the sole on, and some people are putting the tongue inside the shoe, and some people are putting the inner lining on the shoe. And then one person is pricking their finger with like one of those diabetic pricks, and then putting it inside the sole of the shoe. Okay, we good. And what? These things I don't understand. These things I don't understand. Charles writes, no one wanted to catch that coin you drop. Tracy writes, Lil Nas X has lost his mind. TNT writes, why do they have Luke 10:18 on it? Tony writes, just a quest for attention. I think it's a quest for money. That's what I think. I think it's all about them dollars. TNT writes, no thank you. That's some voodoo-ish. It is kind of like some voodoo-ish, yeah. My boys will not be bringing that ish in here. Who knows? I mean, they might put their money up, buy them a pair, and then go to Shopify, start their own store, and then sell them on the store for $3,000. That's what people be doing with this Supreme gear and Anytime Kanye comes out with something, most people just go buy that ish. They put it on eBay or Shopify or Facebook Marketplace, something like that, with a huge markup. Sean writes, he sold his soul to the devil and proud of it. Okay. Kamar says she's gonna send me the link to the video. Okay. David writes, volume going up. Rachel writes, Lil Nas X is trolling. Nike has no affiliation with his shoe. CDC would not allow it if it's human blood. Huh. Ayana writes, the shoe is scary. Tony writes, foolishness. Leslie writes, 666 is the number associated with Satan. Satan? Charles writes, they say there is a video where Lil Nas X gives the devil a lap dance, then kills him. He said he did the shoes in a video to fight against the stereotype that guys were evil and bound for hell. Okay. TNT writes, goodbye. They can keep the bloody voodoo shoes. Voodoo shoes? Charles writes, Lil Nas X is weird. But you know what? Weird sells in America. Weird sells. He is weird. You're right. He is weird. You know what I'm saying? That's some weird-ish right there. Okay, that's weird in the motherfucker right there. We know it. But people love weird, especially if it's got a nice beat to it. Didn't we learn from, I don't know, R. Kelly, that these artists can get away with anything as long as they keep making hot music? Let's be real here. R. Kelly's biggest crime wasn't what he did to those underage girls. That wasn't his big crime. His crime was that he didn't make a follow-up to Step in the Name of Love. Had he made Step in the Love, Name of Love Part 2, Part 3, and it was all as dope as the first one, we still be in love with him. We don't want him going to jail because he making dope music. He should have came out with I Believe I Can Fly Part 2 and Trey, right? That's equally as dope as the first one. We would have had no problems with R. Kelly. That's the trade-off for these artists, man. Keep making the dope music, and then you can do whatever you want to do. Same thing with Michael. Can nobody tell some of you Michael Jordan fans, I'm sorry, these Michael Jackson fans, that Michael was actually doing something with little kids? You don't want to believe that. Why? Because the music's so good. You actually have to do something. You don't want to do that. You ain't giving up Michael Jackson. I don't care how many kids he molested. I know, I hear it. I know, it's a damn shame. We all going to hell together. Greg writes, yes, but if it looks like human blood and lots of Lil Nas X fans are kids, well, I don't know. What do you think? I think it's going to be hot. Watch. It's going to pop off. If he doesn't take that swoosh of Nike, it's going to take all the money and more, Billy. You know, that's right. Nike is somewhere like, wait a minute. And Nike is so full of it. Man, listen, if they sell these shoes like hotcakes, Nike be like, well, actually, it was an underground collab. We wanted to see how it was going to work. Do you like it? Cool, we did it. Daryl writes, $1,000 and $1,000 a shoe that only costs $15 to make is a heck of a profit margin. $15? You're right about that. Tony writes, sick of these Lil Nas X, Tekashi 6ix9ine clown ass nakers. Renee writes, I believe Nike allows you to customize certain shoes and they are just reselling. Mm-hmm. You might be right about that, Renee. Mm-hmm. Jerica writes, how can you step away from your spirituality for a business deal? I'm just saying, people do it all the time. Those two separate things for a lot of people. There's a whole lot of people out there making money, and their religious and spiritual viewpoints might appear to be on the opposite ends of, their business ethos. So a whole lot of people that do that. You got people that will tear them down. I'm a Christian, brought in the church. They in the sex industry. And OnlyFans. People do what they want to do when they want to do it. And whatever they got to say to themselves or the world to do it is what people going to do. You know that. Kamar writes, I think it's a connection with the Lil Nas X video. I think you're right about that. Daryl writes, the limited version will drive the price up even more. Uh-huh. Marisha writes, no, I don't think it's a good idea. Lil Nas X needs some help. Okay. I haven't seen the video, Kamara. No. You sent it to me. I'm going to check it out. Kaman writes, Streetwear brands take existing Nike shoes all the time and put their own spin on Nike apparel all of the time. Nike is not making $1 off of this collaboration. It's no different than buying a plain Hanes t-shirt and putting your own thoughts on the shirt. Do you blame Hanes? No, I understand your point. The only way I would say it's different is that with a plain white Hanes t-shirt, it doesn't have Hanes logo anywhere other than the tag mostly, right? So a plain white t-shirt is a complete white blank slate canvas type thing. If you take a black or completely white Nike shoe, but it's got the Nike swoosh on it, you can still connect it to the brand. That's the only difference that I would say. But I understand your point. Carlton writes, it makes sense in terms of business, but the fact that he has cultural influences. Greg writes, if your son would be 12 or 13 and he wanted to buy those shoes for him, would you? No. To answer your question, I'm just curious. There is no right or wrong answer to me as a parent. What do you think? My question would be, why does he want them? Like if my son came to me and said, Dad, I want to get these shoes. And I said, well, why you want these shoes, son? And he started talking some goobly block about this, that, and the other. I ain't with it. If he came to me on some real like smart business type thing, he like, Dad, I think this is going to pop off. Let's make an investment. I think we're going to double our money. I'd be more open to listening to it because what it tells me is that my son can see opportunities and he ain't necessarily being influenced by it. You know what I'm saying? To me, that would be different. Darlene writes, nope. How does he have the Nike symbol, but Nike don't have anything to do with it, right? Susan writes, Nike needs to seek a remedy for copyright infringement if truly not affiliated or looking to be enriched by this #foolery. Charles writes, in the words of urban street poet Dave East, I could give a off about an Old Town Road. Yeah, me too. Me too. Kamara writes, it's mixed with the ink. Oh, it's mixed with the ink. Okay. I read it was in the sole of the shoe. The sneakers also contain a drop of human blood in the sole, drawn from the members of the Mischief team. Yeah, that's what they say. All these people coming up missing. Yeah, okay. DNA test on every pair of shoes. Somebody writes, Dear Nike, this isn't hard. When someone asks you if they can make Satan shoes under your brand, you say no. Now, Mischief previously released a pair of modified Nike Air Max 97s called the Jesus shoe, which contained what it described as holy water in the sole drawn from the River Jordan. So that's the other side of this. So that's just what they do. Let me see. You can walk on water. Let me see if I like these. So you want to see these? This is the Jesus shoe from the same company. I'm starting to understand. So I get what they're trying to do. I mean, it might pop off. I'm just like that about ideas. Almost any idea can pop off to me. See, that's the Jesus shoe. So for all you folks out there that was about to like, whoa, this is a sign of the devil, the mark of the beast. The great snake is going to arise from the pit of hell and take over, right? Pump the brakes. This is just the next step of the marketing campaign for this new streetwear line called Mischief. And that right there is a version of the shoe. Sold out. Look at it. Sold out. Now I can see this selling out. And it's got a little bit of blood from the River Jordan for people that might care about things like that. Look at that right there. That looks kind of dope. I got it. You can walk on water. And so they put the water inside the air sole. And so you're literally walking on water. I get it. And if you're gonna make the Jesus shoe, it's got a little crucifix right there. Okay, I see it. If you're gonna make the Jesus shoe, then you got to make the devil shoe. See what I'm saying? I get it. Eric writes, the blood is from art donors. Really? Keno writes, he's gay. You talking about Lil Nas X? We know. Sean writes, why would it come out during Holy Week? Nothing about the devil. I mean, what's a better time to come out with a show? Listen, if you got a shoe company called Mischief, I think it's genius. I get it. If you coming out with a shoe line called Mischief, makes sense. They're going hard. They're going hard at it. I understand what they're trying to do. I'm here to tell you, I think it's a good idea. Putting my personal spirituality to the side. Sounds like a good idea. Sounds like they figured it all out. We got the Jesus shoe. We got the devil shoe. Any kind of shoe you want. You can walk on water. You can walk through, I don't know, the burning sands of the pit of hell. I don't know what the hell happens in hell. I don't know. You tell me. I'm not sure what the religious folks are saying about hell these days. Who knows? Sheila writes, I don't want to spend over $100 for any shoe, let alone $1,000, and it's a no for me. Lisa writes, these shoes will sell out. There will always be a market for the macabre. She's right about that. You go on YouTube, you got all these YouTube channels, man, that deal with like macabre stuff. Like, YouTube channels like, I don't know, Dark Five, where it's like 5 supernatural things caught on video, or 5 creepy last written notes from people that vanished. They get millions of views. People love that kind of stuff. You're right. Sister Iris right, the video is equally as crazy as the shoes. And that crazy werewolf Coca-Cola commercial twisting your brain and taking your dollars. Rachel writes, the profit he will make off the shoe will not cover the liability of blood in the shoe. Someone's going to sue him at some point. Okay. Could be. Dell writes, if you understand the history of voodoo, it's not evil, it's African. Read more. The evil originates from white supremacy. Daryl, I think that what you just said rings true to my knowledge. Without going into any great detail, I'm not saying I'm prepared to this morning, but what you just said rings true to my knowledge. Tony writes, so what's the blood supposed to do? Impart demonic powers? Yeah. Yeah, you can run super fast and you're like Mike, but you're not really like Mike. Jack writes, not reaching under my bed to put them on. What's up, Jack? Good morning to you. Nate, those shoes are aftermarket modified by commissioned artists to make custom designs. We know, Drop. Thank you, brother. We know. Tracy writes, Step in the Name of Love Part 2 was Happy People. Well, he needed Part 3 and Part 4. Like, R. Kelly stopped making music that made us stop focusing on the stuff he was doing aside from music. If he would have kept on coming out with hits, we get so, and by we, I mean Americans, we get so caught up with that hottest song, people would have focused on that and they would have focused on the stuff he was doing with underage girls. He wouldn't be in jail. So the point I'm trying to make is that if R. Kelly was coming out with hits after hits every year, that's why the man was under so much pressure. Because he knew what the relationship was. That's why in all those interviews, he was looking like he was under pressure. He was like, damn, I got to make a hit. Got to get a hit out here to distract people from the fact that I'm dating underage girls. Got to get a hit. And he just wasn't able to keep coming up with hits. He tried, but none of them was really popping off. Keep making us dance so we don't think. Tony writes, I remember hearing something about voodoo in which a woman could put her feminine blood in her cheating man's shoe and leave it outside and he'll come back to her or something like that. Yeah, it's a whole bunch of creepy stuff out there. I've heard stuff about menstrual stuff and juices and people drinking it, and then it's how you make a man fall in love and all kind of nonsense. You violated my rights if you do something like that to me. The kid writes, LOL, no, we're all going to hell together, Nate. She said, not we're all, we all going to hell together. Y'all think you're going to be in hell with me. And we're going to pick this up in hell together. Let's keep it real. I don't want to, but I already know. With gasoline draws on. Oh, man. Brent writes, all money ain't good money. Cleopatra just lost us. We still hear anybody else having issues? If you ever have any issues with it, unless it's like a system-wide issue, leave the room, come right back. Sean writes, what's up, Sean? Lame artist, lame brand. Keno writes, smart. Brian writes, Cincy people aren't hip to the underground shoe industry. In New York, shoes get chopped and screwed on a regular. People aren't asking Nike, they just make them. People, we have to do the fact work. It's the whole It's a whole industry. Yeah. We understand. We get it. We get it. Nike saying, listen, this is not a collaboration. This is something they just do on their own. And this company just does this. They did these other shoes. Like I said, I'm not against it. I'm not against it. You know, if people want to go out and get your 6'6" shoe, 6'6", streetwear, unique design shoes, go right ahead and get it. I feel the same way about this as I do, the Jesus shoe. I don't see, that that's what you want to buy. You go ahead and buy it. INRI. I don't know what that stands for. I'm sure it means something. Yeah, I think it's a smart idea. I think it's a smart idea. They're tapping into something that is really super important to a lot of human beings on the planet. We'll see what happens, because what will happen is the controversy is going to push it and give it wider distribution, and therefore is more likely to get in front of people that are open to buying it. I mean, the little bit I know about the hype beast sneaker culture, I'm just here to tell you, it's people out there. That's how they make their money. Like, you might go to work and I might do a show or whatever, however you make your money. There's people that buy shoes and flip them. Just like there's people that buy houses and flip them. There's people that buy shoes and all of this merchandise, waiting for Supreme to deliver, another collection. They buy them. They sit in line and buy them. Right? They're not. A lot of those people are sitting in line for 2 or 3 days to get the new Air Jordan so they can wear them. They're not doing that. Some might. The most of them are doing it because either they directly are going to start their own stores, or they've been paid by the people who are going to start the store to sit in line to get the exclusive merch. They'll spend $200-$300, put that shit on Shopify, and make $900 out of it. And they're going to do the same thing with these shoes. Tony writes, it's probably sweatshop workers' blood. Right. You're probably right about that. Shaw's writes, those Jesus joints are slick. Yeah, they are. Those are nice. Those are nice. Sold out. They know what they're doing, man. Smart people. They know what they're doing. When you add that level of exclusivity or scarcity to it, it's going to dry the market, or it can. Jericho writes, blood from the River Jordan? No, water from the River Jordan. Deborah writes, good morning. Good morning to you, Deborah. Billy writes, these could never cross the threshold of the Thomas household. Pardon me. Is that right? I feel you. House. Good morning, Colleen. My understanding is that they purchased 666 Air Max 97s and then altered them. Likely not considered copyright infringement because the case can be made. They altered the shoe enough beyond the original intent of the work. Right. Didi writes, how much is Mischief affiliated with Nike? Nike said they do not endorse the shoe and has not an affiliation with Mischief. How do they have a swoosh on them? I think that's been answered. Tiff writes, so the Jesus shoe is okay and not the devil shoe? It's all about what you believe in. There were a lot of folks who didn't like the Jesus shoe either. I mean, to me, I feel the same way about them both. I don't favor one over the other. I just look at them as merchandise, culturally unique merchandise that people might get into. If I had to spend money on I wouldn't spend my money. I'm not inclined to buy either pair. If I had to buy one pair, I'm not sure which pair I would buy. I mean, whatever pair I thought would give me the biggest return on my investment, because I really wouldn't wear them myself. If I spend $1,000 on something like that, it would be an investment. Let me see. Brian writes, who sells hell the most? Nike or religious folks? Just saying. I wouldn't be the shoe on the strength of I'm not paying that much for shoes, period, unless it's necessary sporting equipment, and it's not. Janine writes, and the Jesus shoe just happens to be white, while the Satan shoe is black. Marketing symbolism, racism, ugh. Now, you know what? I ain't even copped that. You right about that. That's an excellent point right there. You're right about that. And I'm sure, I mean, just looking at the level of detail that I see in the marketing of it, I can't believe that the smart people behind this didn't have a conversation internally saying, hey, I think people might say that we making a point here subtly about racism, a racist point here. I'm sure they talked about that and said, you know what, screw it, we're gonna go with it anyway. We're just gonna play right into it. That's an excellent question. Why is it that the Jesus shoe is all white and the Satan shoe is all black? Why? What? Who did this? They must have dug up some of the original, producers and the director from Birth of a Nation to work on this project. Where did they come up with this at? I think that's fair. I didn't even think about that. Interesting. IU hired Mike Woodson. Okay, Mike Woodson. All right. Akeem writes, them shoes should have been branded with Floyd blood with 846 on the side. I'm really tired of voodoo being viewed as something negative. Jericho writes, so in other words, black people are so ignorant that the music distracts us from children being sexually abused. Well, I mean, if that's the way you want to put it, Jericho, you could put it that way. Yeah. So I'll say, yeah. Some people, including some black people, are so ignorant, so focused on good music over what somebody is doing, that there's people out there that won't even believe what's in front of them, like Michael Jackson. Like, we all know that Michael Jackson had a problem with kids, right? Yeah. I used to get in arguments with people about this. I used to work with a woman, and she was like my little producer or something like that for a while when I was doing Straight Talk. And she used to get so upset whenever I would make that point. Like, she would get real mad. Don't be talking about Michael Jackson. And I'm thinking, Michael Jackson don't give a fuck about you. Why is you defending this man? Like, she would get mad about it. You ain't gonna be talking about Michael Jackson. And it was all because she liked the music. I swear to God, I'm not even gonna tell you who it was. I used to work with a black female, used to get so mad at me whenever I would make this point about Michael Jackson. Because, I keep it consistent. You know what I'm saying? He was a creep back then. He's a creep now. I don't care if he was alive or dead. I mean, I feel the way I feel. I feel like Michael was doing something strange with these kids, period. You don't like it and you don't like it. And I always thought it was so interesting that somebody can get mad at me for sharing my opinion about somebody that don't even know you. This person used to act like she knew Michael Jackson. Like, Michael don't care about you. He ain't even into black women. And here you are caping for him. It was because she loved the music. Oh, you ain't gonna talk about him and make me have to rethink my music choices because I love listening to Michael Jackson music. That's all it was. So yeah, Jericho, there are some black people that are so damn ignorant and they so caught up in music and so distracted that they will deny what's in front of them because they like that artist's music. Yeah, that's the truth. Yes. 100%. Tony writes, sort of off topic. Anyone see the eHarmony with Satan and the female 2020? No, I haven't seen it. Cleopatra writes, they took 666 and said it was evil. Billy writes, you can chop and screw anything, but when you reach a certain level, Nike is going to say, okay, now we need our part right. I can see that. Cass writes, I know what pair Derek Jackson gonna buy. Both. He gonna wear the Satan shoe to his side chick and the Jesus pair back home to his wife. You are so funny for that, Cass. Now, why you gotta bring Derek Jackson back into this? Derek Jackson is, man, he getting dragged. I don't know if you heard the Is It Just Me podcast. Damn, it wasn't pretty. Let's just say that Donnie went hard on Derek Jackson, went back and found the evidence, the whole 9 yards. It was like, if it was a trial, he would have been found guilty of multiple affronts. I mean, let me say this about Derek Jackson. Men like Ussy. Okay, I get it. Men like Ussy. Ain't nothing like new Il Nana to a man. I understand it 100%. I get it. And as a man, whether I was married or not, men stay out of other men's business. So I ain't trying to get in and talk about how he was so wrong. I'll just say this. To men in general, if you're the kind of man that wants to get married, but you still want to have other women on the side, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There is nothing wrong with that desire. If you're a woman and you want to get married because you find somebody, but you still want to do other things on the side, there is nothing wrong with that. I have no problem with it. The problem that I get is when people who have those desires get hooked up with people that don't want that ish and lie about it. If that's the life you want, then you should choose a mate that's down with that, and you can do all of that. Like, you can have that. Like, believe it or not, that's possible. But you see over and over again, whether it's men or women that get caught cheating and you're in a relationship, is they drag somebody through their BS. And I don't believe in that. I believe that as an adult, you should do whatever you want to do, short of hurting people and robbing people and all that kind of stuff. If that's how you want to live your life, you should live your life that way. But you should get a partner that wants the same life. Don't drag some sister through all this nonsense. Just go get you a sister that's down for the business. You can do what you want to do. That's what I don't get. That's where I start to think it's unfair. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real here. You know what I'm saying? Simple as that. So with Derek Jackson, the problem I see is that he's unwittingly dragging his wife through it, and she ain't really with that business. And then you're lying to different people. Just keep it real with everybody about what it is. So what does that mean? Well, it might mean that, it might take you a little longer to find the type of, if you're a man, the type of women in your life that will go with that. Because every woman ain't going to be going for that. You can't, that's not something that every woman's going to go for. You should just look for the type of woman that will go for it because that's what you into. That seems very simple to me. That seems very simple to me. So, somebody says something, since we're talking about Derek Jackson here, somebody called in, I can't remember who it was, called into the Is It Just Me podcast and made a point I thought was interesting. They said they thought that it might have been Danita. It was either Danita or Mina, one of them. I can't remember who it was. They called into the podcast and made a point I hadn't thought about. Like, this person said that they think that the wife is in on it with Derek Jackson. In the sense of, yeah, he went out and did what he had to do, and she might have some real objection to it. But once she found out, they both came together and said, you know what, let's put this book out, make this money. Daddy's got to pay the bills. Let's keep that YouTube channel going. And so they're all in it together. I can see that. And I wouldn't hold that against them. Hey, what's up, FP? What's up, Fast Pitch? She writes, if it's all white, it's all right. You already know. You already know. I want to make sure I let you know that later today at 6 p.m., there's going to be a Let's Talk About It virtual forum. You are invited. It'll be at 6 p.m. today. Want to make sure. Now, of course, it'll be on Facebook. You can check it out later. And I want to put it on your radar screen in case you're going to be busy today. And again, I'll be liking and sharing it. And I'll share it, with the friends page and on my page, when it goes live later today. It'll be live on the Common Strategies Facebook page. They're the folks who are sponsoring this. It's an opportunity for you to interface with some of your state representatives about House Bill 6. There's a big push to educate people about and repeal House Bill 6. And so this is a statewide conversation. The conversation begins today at 6 p.m. on Facebook. Okay, so I'll share it again so you can check it out if you're interested. I want everybody to know exactly what's going on. Also, the good folks over at Renew Community Church, and their website is renewcommunitychurch.org. They've got something called the Focus 2021 series. As a part of it, they're offering two things to you this morning. One, you can download a copy of their ebook. It's a 142-page ebook. You can download it to your smartphone, or maybe you got some type of Surface Pro or tablet, or maybe even a desktop. You can download it today. Check it out. And while you're doing so, you can also get registered for 30 minutes of professional coaching. Raise your hand if you've ever had a professional coach. Raise your hand. I thought about this. As I've been doing this campaign, I've been thinking more about it. I've never had a professional coach, But I did have a life coach for a short time in my life, and I will tell you that it was instrumental in my development. Absolutely key to my development. Okay. So I love the idea, even as an adult, the idea of coaching and learning from other people and their life experiences. Now, you might sign up for the 30 minutes of free professional coaching and might want to talk about a business idea. Cool. You might want to talk about a personal issue or maybe a spiritual issue. All of that is fair game. Now, there's a little bit of a process. So it won't be the kind of thing where you just sign up and then the very next day. No, there's a little bit of a process. They want to get a sense of what you want to talk about and does that fit in line with, what they have to offer. So I've been telling people, I'll continue to tell you, space is limited. I want to make sure that everybody in my audience gets in first. Okay, so I'm gonna keep telling you about this. Get in first, secure your spot in line so that you don't have to set it up for, sometime next month. You want to get in a timely basis. I'm not even sure what the time, duration and buffer is going to be there. But we all know the early bird gets the worm. So if you're interested, sign up, register, and then let me know about the process. Let me know what the experience is like because I would like to know. Good morning to you. If you want to share your thoughts this morning, 513-873-7134. You can always just take a free ride on my thoughts as I deliver superlative flows on people, politics, and pleasure. It's what I do. I love it. Good morning to you. Let me jump inside the chop shop for a minute or two. Where we at on time? We got started a little bit late this morning, unavoidable. Um, Two things I want to tell you. So at some point this week, I think we've got it set up for Thursday. Let me double check. Yes, Thursday at about 8:30 a.m. We're scheduled to get a call, and we're going to talk with Charlie Winburn. He's going to take a deeper dive into the Focus 2021 series in an effort to engage you and give you more information about what they're offering. That's going to be on Thursday. On Wednesday, at this point, the show is going to end at 9 a.m. on Wednesday. Okay. It's because, I got to make sure I'm there for my son and the wifey's got some things going on. Now, things might change. So I may not have to leave with you on Thursday, but for now, plan on the show starting, and we may start a little bit earlier, maybe 7 and go from 7 to 9. That way we get a full 2 hours in. I think I may do that. But the show at this point is going to end at 9 a.m. on Wednesday unless something changes. And I won't know until actually Wednesday. Okay. The wifey's got something important going on at the same time the show is going on. If she's out of that in an appropriate time, then I won't have to leave the show, just to give you some updates. All right. Let's go back to the phones. Good morning and welcome to the show.
Morning, Nathan. It's Kev on the field. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great, Kev. Good morning, man.
So, I was taking care of an appointment when Drop had called, but man, I was trying to get in because I don't understand. He ain't calling for your boy to do a podcast. Why isn't Drop calling for Trump to do a podcast, man? I don't get it, Nate.
Because in his mind, Trump is perfect.
Nah, because Trump can't get on any platform. But look, we get enough information from our former president. We've got. Is it just me, or does Drop all of a sudden sound real black? He dropped all the Ers, everything got an I.
He has changed a little bit. He has. I definitely. He thinks we don't notice it though.
There's a whole bunch of cussing going on.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He didn't did almost a damn near 180.
I thought it was just me, man. And I know everybody says I crack myself up, but I'm gonna tell you what, Drop cracks me up. I can't understand. Look, there are some really significant things going on though with Georgia and the right to vote. So everybody keeping their eyes open for some things. It seems to me a lot of the time, much of the time, that when things happen in Republican strongholds all over the country, those things trickle down to Ohio somehow. You know what I'm saying? I don't. Do you get that impression as well, Nate?
Oh, absolutely. It trickles down to Ohio.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, okay, so they'll be talking about we can't take water to the polls. They'll be trying to take away early voting here shortly. So just keeping an eye out on that, and then also, and I know there are a bunch of people. My daughter is scheduled to get her vaccine as well, man. We're gonna vaccinate the house, bro. We're gonna vaccinate the house, and I'm not encouraging people to do what I'm doing. So I want to make sure that I make that plain and known. I don't have a dog in your fight, honestly. I know when I'm vaccinated, I'm going to feel better about me and my family and get back and be in front of my family. For everyone else, it's a personal decision. The reason why I'm talking about myself and my experience is just to let you know, if I grow an extra hand or a third head or something like that, I'll let you know that as well. For right now, nothing's happened. But the reason why I'm saying that for me is just so you got a gauge on from someone who's taking a shot. That's all. Other than that, everyone, it's a choice for your own, for yourself. But the last thing I wanted to say was I was listening to a report on PBS. They were talking about the Spanish flu, and they said when it came back for the second round, it was much more virulent and much more dangerous. So, just read up on the stuff from the past. The biggest thing that they said back at that time, and I can't believe that this is repeating itself. The biggest thing that they said was everybody was like, "It's just the flu. It's just the flu," and it wasn't the flu, and a lot of people died. So, protect yourselves. Love for the choppers, man. I want, I love your show, Nathan, and I just wanted to continue on. But you know how I do, man. It is what it is. So for me and mine, we're gonna go ahead and get the vaccine. If you don't get it, my prayers are with you and my thoughts are with you. And you might not need that either, and I ain't got no problem with that. But yeah, drop, man. Welcome back to being black. You show up black all of a sudden. Black, not a Democrat. That's what he say. That what Drop tell you. He black, not a Democrat. He got all blackity black, blackity black, black, black. Stereotypically black, by the way. But be blessed, stay safe. I'll talk to you later, Nate.
Yeah, most def. Hey, most def, Kev. Yeah, we got to catch up, bro, for sure. I'm reading that, we know this drop didn't change a little bit. I think it's because he's the whole black. I don't know. I think it's because Trump's not in office and he's doing his podcast now. And maybe he's kind of picking up on some things because I can admit that my language has been a bit more loose lately. I'll bring that back in. So I think it's a combination of things that he's picking up on. But we know this drop. You didn't change, bro. It's all right. Everybody changes. So, quote, I'm still his dad, and when it becomes aggressive, I've got to have respect. That's Kurt Franklin during his recent visit to the Tamron Hall show, talking about the audio clip of him basically disrespecting and going back and forth with his son. I'll still say that, your son, you calling your son a bitch ass nigga. That's something I would say to another man that I'm trying to provoke into a confrontation. That was something I would say to a complete stranger that I'm trying to provoke. You know what I'm saying? That's the kind of thing you say to a man that you want to fight, that you want to engage with physically, right? That's not the kind of thing you would say to somebody. Like, I understand that people be like, well, when your kid grow up and you got a son, you're going to have to check him. I'm definitely going to have to do that. Everybody knows that. But I'm not going to call my son a bitch ass nigga while I'm doing it. That's a whole nother level of it. And I got a chance to see a video clip of the mother, right, of Terrion. Is that his name? Or Carry On. And something ain't right with sis. Something ain't all the way there. It's just something wasn't right in that interview, yo. I'm like, oh boy, I'm starting to see where this brother's coming from. I'm gonna say it again. I blame Kirk Franklin. Use the father, use the daddy. You're the one that had a kid when you was in your teenage years, didn't get with the mama, and then start having a happy family with somebody else. When you do shit like that, it could breed resentment in the kids that's not a part of your new happy family. I mean, it is what it is. Simple as that. But now I'm reading a carry on and saying that he's gonna change his last name. So, his son might have some emotional issues because why would I care about you changing your last name? Like if my son came to me and said, I'm changing my last name, I ain't gonna be no junior no more. I mean, I wouldn't be happy with it, but brother, that's you. If that's what you want to do. I mean, I know what I named you, but if you want to change your name when you become an adult, all right. I'm still gonna call you Junior. I mean, it is what it is. Something's not right there. Something's not right there all the way around. On all levels, something's not right. And I just ain't figured it out. Duke University says it will punish a student found responsible for posting a printout of George Floyd's toxicology report. Apparently, it was posted to a Black History Month display at Duke University. Basically, the flyer insinuates that George Floyd died because of his own actions. The flyer is posted to a Black History Month display honoring victims of police brutality on Saturday. And somebody wrote this, they hand wrote something that read, quote, mix of drugs presents in difficulty breathing, overdose, good man, use of fake currency is a felony. So basically somebody thinks that because you take dope, it's okay for the police to kill you and and put a foot on your neck, a knee on your neck, or that because you had allegedly committed a crime, that it's okay for the police to put their knee on your neck. It just really goes to show you just how far we got to go in this country. It really does. But now the university is saying that whoever the student is, when they find them, or the student is going to be punished, and the student should be punished. But we'll have to wait and see, man. I mean, or is that just freedom of speech? That's the other thing about it. Like at the end of the day, all they did was do what college students do is, it's a Black History Month display. It's going to be polarizing to some people. They didn't deface it. It'd be one thing if they took some spray paint and defaced what was up there. They didn't do that. He just took a handwritten, he just took the toxicology report, put some handwritten notes on it, and then put it right next to the Black History display. My question is, why didn't they just take that shit down and keep on going? Like, is it insensitive? Yeah, I can see people saying it's insensitive. Okay. Is it wrong? I don't know if it's wrong or not. I don't know if I'm saying it's wrong. Like, should the university punish this student who's responsible for posting a printout of George Floyd toxicology report? Like I said, he didn't deface anything. The more I think about it, I'm kind of leaning toward the student nothing should happen to the student. Because what did the student really do but exercise their freedom of speech? It might be reprehensible to us. We might be like, oh, that's some racist BS. Okay, but I mean, yo, check it. Those of us that would be sensitive to stuff like this, we got to look ourselves in the eye and be real here and say, look, just because I'm sensitive doesn't mean that's a crime that somebody else committed. If it was me, I just rip that mofo down and keep on going. Right? I don't know. Let's go to the phones. Good morning. Welcome to the show.
What's going on, Nate? Good morning, bro.
Hey, good morning to you. Good morning to you, Glenn.
You know what I do, Nate? I just what I like the white people do and tell them anything they want to hear, going in knowing good and damn well that I'm going to prove Derek Chauvin to be guilty. There's nothing that they can say to me that when I look at the 8 minutes and 46 seconds, that wasn't the cause of his death. And what you said about the drug, That's what they saying, up and down the dial. That's what, they already providing that excuse out there. As if, again, you can be high on drugs, but if somebody got their knee on your freaking neck, cutting off your windpipe for 8 minutes and 46 seconds, that probably supersedes whatever high you on about that time. All right? So, Nate, this goes back to when we're talking about Sam DuBose, and you had the leader of the FOP, Dan Race's little, Napoleon complex heels, talking about Ray Tensing had an inadvertent trigger pull. An inadvertent trigger pull, Nate. That's what he used to say. And I'm like, how do you have an inadvertent trigger pull when you pull your gun out during a traffic stop and point it at a person's head? Again, and then they go, you know what they always do, Nate? Maybe we need to go back and look at the training, the training manual. Believe me, I've heard all the arguments. Well, you do know that in Minneapolis police, they said that it's okay to, have that type of restraint. Okay, if that's the case, sure. But at what point after, let's just say, 46 seconds of being restrained where you got a man on your legs, your midsection, and a knee on your neck, do you not need the extra 8 minutes of, trying to subdue a suspect? Because that's what they're going to, it's like the Rodney King tape, Nate. I'm arguing with these fools down the Dow because they're talking about, well, Glenn, there's going to be a lot of pressure put on those jurors, to do the right thing. I'm like, well, you should be pressured to do the right thing. It's like, so what are you trying to suggest? Well, the people out in the community, if they don't come back with a guilty verdict, I'm like, oh, so that's what we're doing now? So let me ask, and then I asked the white person this. So what you're telling me is that the reason why the white people out in Simi Valley let those white police officers off that beat the hell out of Rodney King because what? The white community was putting pressure on them, like, hey, you better not convict none of our officers. And then I've also found this out, and actually I knew this before, Nate, but apparently police and the white community are like synonymous with each other. Because now the argument is, well, when a police officer kills a black guy, everybody acts like it's white America that's racist. No, it's just that cop that's racist. You're racist if you advocate for the crap that we see on tape and for the world to see, and it don't make sense. And see, this goes back to my old axiom, Nate. I use their words against them all the time. The only thing they're going to do is like either get mad at me, hang up, or call me the N-word, in their quiet time. Because they know I'm right. The mirror that I put in front of their face, Nate, is that face that they don't want to look at. It's a face that they don't want to see because they know that it mirrors everything that everybody says about them. Yeah, you're racist. Yeah, you're alt-right conservative. Yeah, you're a Trumpster. Yeah, you're a mega idiot. Yeah, you were okay with playing the Bertha card. Yeah, you were okay with playing the Wuhan card. You heard about John Husted. John Husted, the only reason why he did the whole Wuhan tweet is because a lot of Republicans are still trying to curry favor with the Trump crowd. So you got to throw a little racist, gaslighting, pandering, red meat out there. Just let them know, like, hey, I'm still with you now. Sure, you screwed up, and I really can't cape for what happened on January 6th, but, I still got that racist blood running through me. Don't get it twisted. And like I said last week, that's why they got Josh Mandel meeting with them. That's why, Jane Tipcomb is meeting with them. I mean, that's the reason why Brian Kemp down in Georgia, Nate, is doing what he's doing. He's doing that because, remember, Brian Kemp, the governor, he's certified to vote. Well, guess what? That was a sellout move to many white conservatives down in Georgia. Even though he did the right thing, but again, he got hey, I'm still racist. I'm still bigoted. I'm gonna throw these laws out there. And then I heard Lil Drop X call in with his little MAGA blood and his Asics heel, talking that big boy stuff about the Georgia. That what people need to remember is that it's not like there was a Democratic Georgia legislator that changed all these laws and then they got in office and all of a sudden we got to change them back. These were laws that were put in place by Republicans. But again, Brian Kemp needs to do this, despite the fact that it was certified by Democrats and Republicans all around this country. More specifically, Republicans in the state of Georgia. Matter of fact, the vote was counted 3 times, Nate, 1 time by hand. But he has to throw this out there. He has to continue the big lie because I think Durrell or either Brett Beer put it in there. Stacey Abrams is coming for him. Hell, now Park Cannon might be coming for him. But this is to build back up his mega bona fides and, let him know, like, hey, I'm still down with you. Sure, I had to, take that L earlier, but, I'm still here. And that's all this is about. Hell, I'm willing to go to Georgia, Nate, just to hand out water and Chico sticks just to see if I can get arrested.
Anything else, brother?
That's it, man. I had to get that off my chest. Hey, man, I just got back from the gym, man. I upped the weight, 5% more on the weight. So now I got the 55-pound dumbbells out now.
Okay. You up to 55? Be careful, bro.
30. I started out at 45. Then I'm doing progressive weight,
okay.
So I'm either 5 to 10%. But not too much, man. I have to remember I'm 53 years old. I don't want to be walking around like Bill Cosby and shit.
I know that's right. Build it up, man. Build it up. Even after 50, you can still be in phenomenal shape.
Geico commercial at least.
Say again.
What'd you say? I didn't hear your last part, Nate.
Yeah, I said that keep it up, bro. I mean, it's beautiful. Even after 50, you can be in phenomenal shape after 50.
Man, I'm trying. And I tell you what, they don't sponsor me, but are you hip to the little apple cider vinegar chewables?
Not chewables. Now, I don't mess with the chewables, but I do put it in my water.
Okay, yeah, because I can't take the bitter taste of the apple cider vinegar, just, taking a teaspoon or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But these gummies, man, I got them at Walgreens, Nate. They the truth.
Are they? Okay.
Still do the same thing. Digestive health. Yeah, get stuff moving around. So, yeah.
Okay.
I want to check it out.
All right. I may look into it, man. Thank you for the
call,
brother.
I appreciate the shout out about the show last week. And Charlie Wimber, I warned you that you're going to be on the show, but, I took it out on everybody, so not just you. But, I was feeling it that night, man. I was spitting hot rocks like Dylan. Dylan spitting hot rocks.
I haven't heard it yet, but I heard good things about it. I'm going to check it out this week.
All right, brother. Hey, I appreciate you taking my call, man.
All right, man. Take it easy. That's Glenn, Politically Petty Podcast. Coming to CDM real soon. Listen, folks, I want to say thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate you. Want to remind you, got an opportunity to download a free ebook this morning and also sign up for 30 minutes of free professional coaching with Charlie Wimburn, who is the current Hamilton County Treasurer, just to remind you. Also, today is 6 p.m. Don't miss this if you're interested. If we're connected on Facebook and social media, I'll post it again, probably about 5:30-ish, right before it goes live, just to remind people. Let's talk about it. It'll be on Facebook at Common Strategies, COMMEN Strategies. And it's all about educating people about the efforts to repeal House Bill 6. That's a statewide conversation. So get informed, get involved, get active. Have an excellent rest of your day, family. We'll talk real soon. Until next time, I'm Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.